Once you finish your feedback on Writing Coach, you are ready to move it over to Google Docs. So you'll go back to Classroom, and under the stream, you will click on the Student Letter Setup. This will be a setup that's similar to Slices of Summer, and it will automatically make a copy for you, so you do not need to worry about making a copy for yourself. You're going to notice the setup, the 5 parts of a letter. And so the first part is the heading or the date. So we are going to write out the date like it says. Instead of saying like 10-, we're going to spell out October 27th, 2015. Make sure we have a comma in between the 2 numbers. Make sure it's capitalized and that it's in right alignment. Then we're going to go over to the greeting. Just like it says, we're going to say Dear Mr., Mrs., or Miss, depending on what they are, and then their last name, since it's more formal than informal. So we're going to capitalize Dear, capitalize Mr., period, capitalize Laminac, and then a comma after the greeting. Then we're going to skip the copy and pasting. Make sure that's in left alignment. Go over to the closing. And you could do sincerely. If you do that, it's the word sincere with ly at the end. Or you could do your reader or your fan. If you do that, you only capitalize the first word. It's almost like it's a sentence. And then you need a comma after the closing. Then for your signature, you're going to spell out your first and last name and make sure that you have capital letters for that as well. Now you're ready to copy and paste. So we're going to go back to Writing Coach, to the introduction, highlight it. You can triple click it. Instead of doing Control-C, we're going to put 2 fingers and push down the middle of the touchpad and go to copy. If we do Control-C, we run the risk of replacing the whole paragraph with a C, and then you would have to type the entire thing again. So we're going to go to introduction paragraph here. And now we could do Control-V, or, or we could, once again, I did not do a good job copy and pasting that. We could once again push 2 fingers and do paste. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next paragraph, which is body 1. Do the same thing, right click, copy, and then Control-V. There we go, that pasted a little better. And then go to body 2, right click, Control-V again. And then body 3, Control-V, and then all we have left is the conclusion. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is indent each paragraph. So you put your cursor at the beginning and hit Tab. You don't need to use the space bar to space anything out. Just hit Tab in the left-hand corner of your keyboard. And we'll do that for each paragraph. The next thing we want to make sure we do is go through and read our paragraphs to make sure that they are readable, that we fixed any errors that we need to. So we're going to check those red squigglies to see if we need to fix anything. Now this one is a name, so obviously we're not going to fix that because it is correct in the book. We don't need to worry about resizing or fixing the font or changing the font or spacing. It should be good just like this, unless you can't get it all onto one page. If you can't get it all onto one page, you can highlight the whole thing and make it a little bit smaller. So after you finish this, you do want to make sure that you read over it, make any changes that you need to. One last thing that you're going to do is go back to your title and your intro, delete the quotation marks, highlight your title, and instead put it in italics, which is the I. When we write it, we underline it, but when we do it on the computer, we put it in italics. And anytime you have the title of the book mentioned anywhere in your letter, you do need to make sure that you have it in italics. So check your intro and conclusion to see if you need to make changes to your title. And then you should be finished and ready to peer edit.